What's good, Ninja? OJ over here from Player Essence, and welcome to another video. Today we have some awesome information for you guys, so let's go ahead and get right into it. And we are starting off with Octopath Traveler, and some more information has come out from the sales of this game. Now, the game sold through 90% of its initial shipment in Japan, which explains the reason why there were sellouts. Now, I usually don't talk about shipment numbers because I don't really care about shipment numbers. It's all based on what a publisher or developer thinks. Pre-orders, there's all sorts of things that go into shipment numbers, so I usually don't talk about that. But what's significant about this is that it explains why there's the sellouts, because Octopath Traveler sold through 90% of its shipment. Now, what we do know is that Octopath Traveler sold over 110,000 units in Japan in its first 3 days of sales on the market. So you just go ahead and say 10% went unsold. So yeah, Octopath Traveler pretty much was sold out everywhere. If only 10% was left throughout Japan, you're not going to be able to get it in many of the large retail chains where most people go to get their video games. It might have been at some obscure places, smaller mom and pop shops, but pretty much it was sold out everywhere across Japan. Now, if you move across the country, you've seen here in the US, it's definitely having sellouts in terms of shipments and everything. On Amazon, you can't even pre-order it as of the time that I recorded this video. It is just temporarily out of stock. It's back ordered 1 to 2 months the last time I saw it, and then the most recent one was that it's just out of stock. You can't pre-order it, or you can't order it at all, or pre-order your order for back stock, that is. So it's just insane how much people have decided to take this game up, and I'm really excited about that. I think that's really cool. So with digital copies, if we were just to talk about that, it is a very high possibility, since Octopath Traveler was #1 on the Japanese eShop, that the game broke 150, 160K for its first 3 days on the market, which is just phenomenal. That's probably the best we've seen. Now, what I do know is that there hasn't been a third-party game on the Nintendo Switch in Japan that has had this big of a debut. I don't remember, or I don't recall any other third-party game, or at least exclusive, which there isn't a lot of, or just third-party game in general in Japan that has sold this well starting out. So that's a positive to see 6 figures in those first 3 days, and I don't think it's gonna stop, guys, because this game is starting to build quite a bit of momentum with celebrities in Japan. It's starting to build momentum with word of mouth. It's not even like there's a ton of advertisement for this game, because there isn't when it comes to commercials, but word of mouth and positive videos on the classic RPG experience. And if you play Chrono Trigger, or if you play Final Fantasy VI, or if you play Breath of Fire, any of those old school games, or even if you love a game like Bravely Default, which is a million seller in its own right on the Nintendo 3DS, then you're gonna like this game. So it's pulling from all of these different places where people are like, man, like, I love games of today. Obviously, we've gotten some great RPGs, but there really isn't anything like this on the market. And I think that's the reason why Octopath Traveler is doing so well. They found a market that nobody has really exploited on the Nintendo Switch, and they said, hey, let's go ahead and do this, and they're having great success in where areas like, let's say, the Secret of Mana remake couldn't do when they tried to modernize the graphics, and somehow it looks worse than Octopath, that is a pixelated game when it comes to it. I don't know how to explain it, but Octopath looks 10 times better than the Secret of Mana remake that's using modern graphics. And Octopath is using modern graphics when it comes to things, but it is like pixel formed in terms of how they look at it, but it just looks so much better and more pleasing to the eyes than the Secret of Mana remake. I'll have another video discussing this, talking about third-party developers and taking more chances. That's a video for another day. But what do you guys think about Octopath Traveler selling through so much, the initial stock, in terms of how that was out, and how are you enjoying the game so far? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, now moving on to the next title here, we probably have the most unique Nintendo Switch game ever made at this point. I have never seen a game like this in what they're trying to combine. So apparently there is a brand new music rhythm game called Phrasefight coming to the Nintendo Switch, and it'll be playable at the Zentame 2018 in early August, so we should be getting some more gameplay and footage of this soon. So Phrasefight, a rhythm fighting game developed by Japanese indie studio Very Okay, which is just a great name. Like, how you guys doing today? Very Okay, is coming to the Nintendo Switch. Publisher Mediascape has announced. Now, initially launched for the PC and Mac back in February, Phrasefight will be playable in TV, handheld, and table modes on the Nintendo Switch, support for HD Rumble, which is very crucial in my opinion, and support for two-person share play with one Joy-Con per player. It'll be playable for the first time at the Zentame 2018 in Gifu City from August 4th to the 5th. And you can check out some gameplay as we're seeing here. The official website is also up with a few more bits of information, and this game looks crazy. I've never heard about it before. I didn't know that it came to PC or Mac, but it's coming to Nintendo Switch. They picked a platform, and I think that this is exactly the type of weird indie games that we're seeing some of the Japanese developers kind of get into, because we really haven't seen a ton of Japanese indie developers kind of come out of their shell when it comes to things. There's not as much as in the West, but we're starting to see more and more, and I think the Nintendo Switch is just driving a lot of people to say, hey, I've got a cool idea, I want to put it out on something. What's the best platform to do it? And the Switch is here essentially to where you get a portable system, a Nintendo 3DS, a PS Vita, a PSP, and you get that home console system all in one. So I think indie games, especially games like this, are perfect for the Nintendo Switch. And if you're looking at this title, it's just absolutely crazy that you play like a rhythm game and it's a fighting game. I'm sure it's been done before. We've seen stuff like this. I think there's been games, rhythm games, obviously, that have been very big successes, like Parappa the Rapper, games like that. But this is something that's completely different from that. This is something to where it's like you have the beat and it's going, and literally they're fighting to that, and you can kind of customize and see what you do there based on your actions. It's just insane. I've never seen a game like this before, and I'm actually really excited to play this because I like music rhythm games. I've played stuff like Voice, I've played DDR, I've played the Mario DDR, I've played all sorts of music rhythm games, and I've always generally liked them. They're not my favorite genre out there, but I've always liked them. But Parappa the Rapper, like, that was one of my favorite games on the PlayStation, but that franchise is kind of dead. What do you guys think about Phrasefight for the Nintendo Switch? Is this your style of game? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Alright, and moving into the final topic here, we have a little bit of a peculiar statement from the Take-Two CEO, and he has stated that Take-Two's Nintendo Switch games have been successful. And that's it. Nothing else outside of that. So Take-Two does have a couple different games on the Nintendo Switch. We got WWE 2K18, and that game's amazing, right? No, it's not amazing, but yeah, we do have that game. We also have NBA 2K18. NBA 2K19 is coming out later this year, pretty soon here in a couple months. We also have games like LA Noire, and there's also that Carnival games coming out for the Nintendo Switch. So not the best or most robust library out there, but there are a few games. And recently the CEO of the company had this to say about their Nintendo Switch titles. What we've put out so far has been successful. Zelnick also promised more products for the Nintendo Switch in the future. So is he talking about just Carnival games? No, I'm thinking he's talking about some other stuff. So let's talk about this, because this kind of became a big article on various different sites here. So some people think that he's lying, or some people think that he's not being real or serious, because WWE 2K18 was obviously not a success, but NBA 2K18 was a success. And from what I understand, LA Noire did sell best on the Nintendo Switch, or was right up there with the other versions of the games in terms of the re-release, not the original one. So here's what I think on this one, guys. I think that Take-Two is going to slow play this all the way to heck, and I think that they're looking at some of the other stuff that the developers have done on the Switch, like Doom and all that, and they're kind of brainstorming how they can bring some of their franchises. Now, I understand we're probably not going to get like something like Red Dead Redemption, but I do feel that like a GTA, why hasn't that come about? Maybe that's going to be in the works. That would probably be a big game, Nintendo would say, for Nintendo Direct or something like that. So maybe GTA 5 comes. But what I would really like to see, guys, is the BioShock collection. I think the BioShock collection would do really well on the Nintendo Switch. I think BioShock Infinite, to be exact, if you could only bring over one, I would say BioShock Infinite would be the game to bring over. Has some cool upgrades, has a really slick presentation to it. The game is fast, it has a great story to it. It's my favorite BioShock game of all time, and it's definitely up there in terms of one of my favorite games. The story is fantastic, the powers are really good. I think that it balances great gameplay with story and with shock value, whereas a lot of games today, they kind of just do shock value and graphics. I think BioShock Infinite has it all. It has the great gameplay, it has the great graphics, it has shock value, it has story, it has a little bit of everything just enough, it has some great extra modes after you beat the game. There's some good replay value. It's a good length starting off. I played through the whole game on PC. I actually have a full Let's Play of the game here on PC, and I usually don't do that at all. So that's how you guys know I do like this game. So I do feel that BioShock Infinite would be a great one to bring over, but what else do you guys think they can bring outside of that? I don't think Carnival Games is the game that people want on the Nintendo Switch. Now, there's probably some people that want to play that with their family, don't want to deny everybody. Obviously, 1-2 Switch was a big seller on the system, so I think there's going to be some people for Carnival Games. But for the core gamers out there, I need to see a little bit more from Take-Two. It would be great if we got GTA. It would be great if we got BioShock Infinite or the BioShock Collection as well. So what would you guys like to see from Take-Two on the Nintendo Switch, and what do you think about all the different topics that we discussed here? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. All right, Ninja, that wraps it up for this video here. Go ahead and check out the links in the description below. We got Facebook and Twitter. Go ahead and give us a like and a follow on our social media. Really helps us spread the content of Player Essence across the internet in addition to YouTube. Also, make sure you check out our Patreon, Twitch, and YouTube live gaming pages and consider supporting Player Essence. When you do so, it gets you access to all sorts of cool benefits, perks, rewards, and emotes via YouTube membership. So check out the links in the description below and consider supporting Player Essence right here on YouTube. Hit that like button if you did like this video. Let me know you guys want more content like this going forward in the future, and subscribe to Player Essence for latest RPG, Japanese, and Nintendo gaming news. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the for the next video. Peace.